because I truly believe that if we can understand what's going on in our body, and if we can live in sync with these rhythmic, predictable cycles, then we have this superpower of being able to plan things, organize things, support our body with nutrients and food and our mindset and our self-care, so that we can leverage these fluctuations and better ourselves. And we can use this knowledge to reflect and to change what's going on following month. I think that this information is crucial for any girl out there to understand, to know that it is a tool that they can use within their health and wellness practices and their everyday life, or they can choose not to. But I still believe you still deserve to know this information. So I was on birth control for 6.5 years. I started in high school. I had really intense, painful periods, heavy. I just was suffering. And I thought that everybody in high school goes on birth control. It's just my rite of passage. I'm going to be doing it anyways if I want to be sexually active. So why not go on birth control early so that I can stop these heavy, painful periods? So I thought at the time that this was my only option. I was also suffering from acne. And I said, you know what? My doctor said this will clear your acne. This will stop your heavy periods. This will regulate your cycle and stop you from getting pregnant. And at that time in high school, you are saying, hallelujah, that's everything I want. This couldn't be better. Let's take this pill every day at the same time for essentially as long as you can think of. It wasn't until I actually started getting really sick and my nutrients were depleted. I was super stressed out, super anxious. I changed the pill frequently. I was on 3 or 4 different kinds because I would always complain about it affecting my mood and my digestion. And I didn't realize that this hormonal therapy, which was a medication, anytime I would get tests done and people would say, are you on any medication? I'd say, nope, just birth control, thinking that everybody was on birth control. So it didn't even count as a medication. There was no insight into how it was actually affecting my body. I was so sick. I had severe IBS. I had lost 15 pounds. I was insanely stressed out, burnt out, cortisol levels went through the roof, then plummeted. I could barely get out of bed without feeling like I was gonna pass out. It was a last resort. I came off birth control and my life, seriously, it changed. My anxiety essentially disappeared. My vitamin, nutrient levels, my energy levels, my digestion, everything changed. It was as if I took a major trigger and stressor out of my body and my body was actually fully able to heal and repair itself. So that is a little bit of my background and why I'm so passionate about this, because not many women actually fully understand that it has the potential to do these things to us, to deplete mineral and vitamin stores, to affect your gastrointestinal tract, to cause inflammation, to burden the liver, to exacerbate stress responses, to cause mood symptoms such as low mood, anxiety. There's so many side effects and potentials on it that I just feel that women need to be fully aware so that when they do choose to use hormonal therapies, they're making an informed decision. They understand the risks, they can look out for it, they know that it's a possibility, it could be contributing to other things, but they're aware of that. They're taking that responsibility and they're making an informed decision. Nobody knows our bodies better than we know ourselves, okay? We know, we've just lost that intuitive connection to our bodies. So I'm just here to talk about and share that we have more options. So now I use the fertility awareness method. I check my temperature in the mornings, I check my cervical fluid, and I also check my cervical position. And with these 3 signs combined, I'm able to know my fertile window. It works. There's no surprise to it. If you are educated, if you work with a practitioner one-on-one to know how to do it properly, if you know what you're doing, it works as a pregnancy prevention as well as promoting a pregnancy when you want to get pregnant, because now you know those 5 to 7 days when it's most likely that you're going to get pregnant. I feel better in my body. I know how to support myself in my hormonal fluctuations, because we have a follicular phase and we have a luteal phase. So from menstruation to ovulation is your follicular phase, and from ovulation to menstruation is your luteal phase. And this can kind of be broken up into 4 subcategories: menstruation, follicular, ovulation, luteal, menstruation again. And if you divide it into these 4 little subcategories, you'll actually know that your hormones are fluctuating dramatically during these 4 different phases. And I've heard it be said that 25% of your brain chemistry changes as you fluctuate between these cycles. So us women are actually different individuals to an extent, depending on where we are in our cycle. In contrary to a very male-dominated world where we are expected to behave and repeat patterns on a 24-hour clock, which, by the way, matches the men's hormonal fluctuations, which reset every 24 hours. Us women are more cyclic, okay? We're like the seasons. We have 4 stages. We cycle through our menstrual cycle with major hormonal fluctuations, where we have different thought patterns, behaviors, cravings, our body composition fluctuates, our desires, our energy, everything fluctuates in sync with our hormones. So that's where it comes in to this living in sync. I want to advocate for women to get to know their bodies as best as they can so that they can sync their life to what's going on in their body. So if you're not on hormonal therapy and you do have ovaries and you are cycling, living in sync would mean that you understand this cycle and you are educated enough to live and sync your activities to what's going on inside your body. If you are on hormonal therapy at all and you are not cycling, such as the pill, then you know that you are not having these fluctuations, so you're able to sync your life into that and the needs that birth control has. And you can bring in vitamins to support what the birth control deplete. If you're on the Mirena IUD, where most women actually do ovulate, you are cycling, not to the extent that a woman off of the IUD does, but you are potentially cycling as well as getting those artificial hormones directly from the IUD. You could be producing progesterone and you could be able to sync your life to support that cycling. So living in sync to me is about understanding your body, understanding your desires, intuitively knowing and recognizing what your body needs to be supported. And as everybody knows, we are constantly evolving, we are constantly changing. Our needs fluctuate depending on where we're at in life, but it's all about knowing where we're at so that we can support our outside life to our inside life. And that to me is what living in sync means.